Buffs are on Jacksonville State tonight.
Yes, indeed.
How about the host?
I'm going to Western Kentucky. Thanks for asking.
All right, here we go.
That does it for us. We're looking for an upset. Rich Waltz, Robert Turbin, and Amanda Guerra on the call. See you back here at halftime. Enjoy.
The 2024 Conference USA regular season was a mosh pit of fun.
Last play, Hail Mary, and it's short!
Once conference play started, Jacksonville State dominated, especially on the ground. Tyler Huff and Trey Stewart drove the bus for Rich Rod's tempo party.
They punched their ticket in the Conference USA title game.
And tonight, a chance to win the title in just their second Conference USA season. Western Kentucky has balance and explosiveness, dangerous in the air and the ground. They have 2 conference titles, but their last was 2016. And get this, they played 6 days ago. Tyler Huff went down in the 3rd, and the Hilltoppers needed a 50-yarder just to get to tonight.
Quickly upright. Holy moly!
It's Gamecocks. It's Hilltoppers. Who will dance at the end of the night? On CBS Sports Network, it's the Conference USA Championship game. And it's a chilly night in Jacksonville, Alabama for the Conference USA Championship. It's Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State. Western Kentucky, they needed a 50-yard field goal at the buzzer 6 days ago to get here. And here they are. Tyson Helton, their head coach, and he finished at 6-2 and 8-4. It was a logjam, and it wasn't until the final games were played last Saturday that we knew who was in the championship game against Jacksonville State. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Robert Turbin. Amanda Guerra joins us shortly. Hey, it's a championship game. That's fun. Conference USA championship games are at another level. And the weird thing is, they played each other 6 days ago.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of a different feeling, right? You just played a team, and now you're playing a team in the championship of this magnitude. I've never experienced anything like this, but in the NFL, you do play your team in the same division twice a year, and I do know this. Whoever gets to win the first time, the other team is definitely trying to get back the second time, and Jacksonville State's going to be looking to do that tonight.
Jacksonville State's looking to do that tonight in just their second year in FBS. Rich Rodriguez has done a marvelous job, and this is his 3rd year. Their only conference loss was last week. They've won 8 of their last 9 games after an 0-3 start, and they can run the football, this team. Rich Rodriguez plays fast, that's for sure. And they can run on through the fog. Here they come. The Gamecocks run it better than just about anybody in all of college football, and they do it in an up-tempo style. Their quarterback, Tyler Huff, is tough, but this was a scare last week, Robert.
Yeah, it really was, Rich. And anytime your starting quarterback goes down, I mean, it's gut-wrenching. You get concerned about, the future of the game. But it looks like he's going to give it a go tonight, and that's big-time news for Jacksonville State.
The good news is, for the Gamecocks, they've got another guy who's really good in Logan Smothers. In fact, he's faster than Tyler Huff. So with 2 quarterbacks and 1 coach, that's Rich Rodriguez down with Amanda Guerra. Hi, Amanda.
Hey there, Rich. We saw your your quarterback get banged up that last game, Tyler Huff. You said he's going to get the start tonight. How has he looked at practice this week, specifically his movement?
He's looked pretty well. It was a short week anyway, which is a little bit concerning, but he looked good a couple of days ago, and he's ready to go.
You mentioned that short week. It is pretty rare to face a team twice in 6 days. How did that change your preparation for this game, if at all?
Well, for both teams, are they going to play the same way? Are we going to play the same way? And, more than importantly, it's to sound like coach speak, we got to execute better. And I'm sure both teams will play really hard. We hope we execute well.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Okay, so Tyler Huff's run for over 1,000. So is his running back, Trey Stewart.
Yeah, and with Tyler Huff being banged up a little bit tonight, Rich, a lot of the shouldering in the run game is going to be on Trey Stewart, and there's no problem with that at all for this offense because he's got great straight line speed, and anytime he has the rock, he can take it to the house. He's a guy that makes you tackle him. It's going to be a physical night tonight.
Now we turn our attention to Western Kentucky. Great tradition of fun offenses. In fact, they've got 3 quarterbacks on NFL rosters right now. For this team, they struggled near the end of the season. They lost 2 games going into the win last week. 8-4 overall. They're really balanced. They can run it and they can pass it. Tyson Helton has done just a terrific job there as well. Time now to do Project Smarter, built by the Home Depot.
And how about Elijah Young, starting running back for Western Kentucky? His elusivity is what makes him different than the other backs in this conference. His ability to run the ball, he's got great vision, he's got great explosiveness, but this is really the difference maker right here. His ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and then take it to the house anytime he has the football in his hands. He's gonna have a big night tonight in order for Western Kentucky to be able to win.
This guy, all he's done is win. He arrived there 6 years ago. In 5 seasons, he's been to a bowl game all 5 years. He's in a bowl game again in his 6th season. Series history, it feels like every time these 2 teams play, it's close. Western Kentucky leads the all-time series, but look, 5 of 7 meetings decided by 5 points or less the last 2 games, won on last-second field goals. It's cold, right? In Jacksonville, Alabama. This is not Jacksonville, Florida. If it was, we wouldn't be wearing all these coats and hand warmers and stuff. It's the coldest game or kickoff they've ever had here. But we expect a fun championship game, as we usually get in Conference USA.
Yeah, these fans are fired up, Rich.
Easton Messer is deep, and this is Messer for Western Kentucky. They got a hand on him at a 15, and he spills out all the way out to the 29-yard line. So the first touch belongs to this guy, Caden Veldkamp, who wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year, but once he came in for the injured TJ Finley, he has balled out.
Yeah, and TJ Finley's been healthy the last few weeks, but because this team has been rolling the way that they are, and Caden Veldkamp has been playing the way that he's been playing, Coach Helton decided to stay with the starting quarterback, and here they are in the championship game.
On the ground, Elijah Young. And Elijah Young has a sizable gain, 8 yards on that one. The starting lineups for the Hilltoppers. They have a veteran offensive line. They've got weapons on the outside, and we told you that Young in the backfield. And they play quickly as well, and Young is off to the races, bouncing out across the 45. That's another gain of almost 10 yards.
And Western Kentucky, this game last week, they had a lot of success throwing the football as we take a look at the starting lineups for Jacksonville State's defense, and they feel like they can throw the ball on this secondary right now, starting it on the ground, to get these guys to commit to the run.
2 nice runs. Western Kentucky runs for only 118 yards a game. Blitz comes, Veldkamp to the air, down the sideline for Smith, and an acrobatic catch. He holds it for the catch at the 23-yard line.
A lot of confidence in this offense for West Kentucky, throwing the ball down the field against these DBs. It's a nice catch right there by number 17, Dalvin Smith, and that ball may have hit the ground right there, Rich. Take another look at it.
No review called for yet.
Looks like he secured it to me, and West Kentucky back up to the line of scrimmage.
That's 30 yards.
Another look right there.
30 yards on the throw, Robert.
Oh, that's close.
Here.
That angle right there, the ball looked like it hit the ground.
Yeah, I mean, they probably should have snapped it a little sooner. Rory Bernard is our referee, Conference USA crew.
Jacksonville State, they're first. 30 seconds.
Oh, Jacksonville State call it timeout.
And I think Rich Rod wants to call timeout so they can have an opportunity to look at this catch here. It's nice coverage there.
You know, the ball can move, but if he has his arm underneath the ball, that's okay, correct?
Ruling on the field was a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
So right here, his hand is under the football, but look at this, Rich. Boom, elbow hits the ground right there. That ball is on the ground, and his arm is not under the ball, it looks like to me, from that angle. I think this is going to be reversed.
So, that angle, you're right. It did not show the arm under the ball when the ball came down and contacted the turf.
Derek Carter there on the coverage, and it was good coverage. He's there, he's got his hand. That's actually a really nice job by Carter getting his hand on the football and making it a tough catch, but right there, that ball looks to me like it hits the ground.
Okay, looks to you. It has to be 100% to overturn what was called a completion. So is it enough to overturn, I guess, is the question.
It looks to me that that is enough to overturn that call, but you know, we'll see what they decide.
The replay review is coming from the replay booth.
And it's interesting because, you know, Rich Rod had to burn a timeout right there to get the review.
And it looks like they are going to reverse this because Jacksonville State's defense is marching back up the field.
1 for 1, Rich.
Good work, Robert Turbin.
Test. After review, it was determined that the receiver did not maintain possession prior to the ball hitting the ground. Therefore, incomplete pass. Second down, Jacksonville State is not charged with their first timeout.
All right, they get the timeout back.
That's big.
And I think you're right, that view that we had and that we bumped up a little for that final look. You can see the arm not under it when it hit the turf. Still, the Hilltoppers moving the football to start this championship game. Velkamp to the air again. Oh, gorgeous throw. That's Messer. Messer's a terrific third down receiver, and he hauls it in, and he's got the first down there. 46th catch, 19 yards on the pickup.
And that was a dot by Velkamp right there. Look at the accuracy right there on the helmet. Able to get upfield and get a first down. And, you know, the key for Jacksonville State defensively is they got to be able to put pressure on Velkamp in the pocket. This offensive line really good, though. Only 1 sack given up in the last 2 games.
Velkamp steps into the pocket, in trouble, and a quick throw there. That's Noah Myers, the tight end. Got hit hard, but he holds on at the 29. It's a gain of about 5.
He took a shot right there, Myers. Tough player. It's going to be a physical game tonight. These guys competing for the championship crown, and West Kentucky, they've got familiarity with winning this title game, and Jacksonville State trying to get their first one.
They were not eligible last year in their first year in Conference USA. In fact, 2 years ago, they weren't an FBS team. And a hit there coming around, Elijah Young, and that is J-Rock Swain, a guy that we saw a lot of last year.
J-Rock Swain expressed the passion for playing in his last game and just really good discipline, keeping the outside contained and not allowing Elijah Young then to get around the corner, because if he does, he's got the speed to take it to the house. Third down defense last week for Jacksonville State held up really nicely, held Western Kentucky to 7 for 20. And this is going to be a huge down, as Western Kentucky could not finish drives in last week's matchup.
No, they stalled out in the red zone as well. Drop play for Elijah Young. He bounces back, and Young hits, and he doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Antonio Carter finished the tackle for Jacksonville State. That's a loss of 1. Boy, that review was so important at this point. Now, both of these teams have really good kickers. Lucas Carnero missed his first field goal of the season. He hasn't missed since. He has hit 5 over 50 yards.
Yeah, he's been dynamite this year, no doubt.
And this is 54 on a chilly night in Alabama. Oh, man. This guy is 6 of 6 from beyond 50 yards this year. And he gives Western Kentucky an early lead. Conference USA Championship. Hilltoppers, Gamecocks, and a 3-0 start for Western Kentucky. Now, Western Kentucky is used to cold. They practice in the snow, but not Robert Turbin, even though he's got keys to the game.
Yeah, not anymore, at least. Keys to the game. Western Kentucky offensively got to finish drives right there. That last possession right there, had to settle for a field goal. Can't do that in this game. On defense, they got to win on first down, meaning causing negative plays for Jacksonville State. Offensively, how about 4 yards a carry? In the run game, got to be efficient there. And on defense, they got to win the turnover battle. They want to have 2 more turnovers than Western Kentucky in this game. The last 3 games, they haven't had an interception. Their defense is going to be huge tonight as far as takeaways are concerned.
All right, let's meet the Gamecocks and their quarterback, Tyler Huff. This is a tough dude. I mean, 6'1", 215. He'll run you over and he'll run by you.
Yeah, and he's got a little wiggle to his game too now, Rich. Don't let his size fool you. We talked to Coach Rich Rod about him, and he says, look, the thing that we didn't know he could do was make you miss in tight spaces, and that's why he's been one of the premier quarterback rushers in all of college football.
Trey Stewart and Huff have combined for 2,600 yards, and that's Stewart bouncing outside, and Western Kentucky and Darius Thomas, it's a 1-yard loss. Offensive lineup, little change at the left tackle, and you got Huff and Stewart and a very talented wide receiver room. Petway is one of their most explosive, along with Cam Vaughn, and this is how they make their money. Tyler Huff on the ground, and they'll do it with tempo. That's a 14-yard run.
Yeah, Western Kentucky brings the blitz to the corner there in the boundary there. He goes after the fake pitch to the running back, and then an offensive line pulling out in front, and Tyler Huff able to get the first down.
38-yard line, Jacksonville State, first possession, and a flag is down. Thomas and Chandler Matthews make the stops.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Too many guys in the backfield that time, Rich, and
Correction. First down.
So you've got a wide receiver on the near side that was not up to the line of scrimmage.
got to get on the ball.
So it costs them 5, and it's first down at 15. And Huff, he can be a bruising runner. They get 3 hats on him, and Devontae Matthews the first to arrive and make the tackle. This is not a great run defense in Conference USA.
No, they've given up a lot of yards this season. Western Kentucky, they're last in the Conference USA as far as their rush defense is concerned, and over 200 yards last week for Jacksonville State against this defense on the ground.
Huff on a little RPO, and he's loose, and he's fast, and he's 20, and he's down to the 10. No problem with the ankle.
That's got to feel good if you're Tyler Huff, getting some run in early in this game and then able to break a big one. Again, Western Kentucky brings a cornerback blitz from the boundary, and if you're going to blitz, that means you have to have outside contain right there, and he just over-pursues, he overruns the play right there, and Huff is able to find a huge lane for a big-time gain right there.
In the long history of Conference USA, only one other quarterback has run for more yards than Huff. Huff is going to take it again, and this time he's stopped at about the 6-yard line. Gain of maybe a couple. In the red zone, this is a really good red zone team when you track touchdowns. 34 of 45. The national average is at 63. They're pushing 76%.
Yeah, they're 9th in all of college football, top 10, Rich, in scoring touchdowns in the red zone, and that's really a critical and an important part of trying to win this game.
Verizon red zone will be a key tonight. Huff looking to throw, does, back of the end zone, caught, and a touchdown. Sean Brown, the tight end, who is holding his leg and is down and now up. And back down he goes. Just his 11th catch of the season, his 3rd touchdown.
Huff actually got to him late on this rollout. There he is in the back of the end zone, and perhaps just maybe fell down awkwardly as the defender there, Keyshawn Swanson, starting in place of Anthony Johnson Jr. tonight, was trying to make the tackle and force an incomplete pass.
75 yards on the touchdown drive, 6 plays, and of course, Tyler Huff was dynamite. He had 75 yards on 4 carries.
Yeah, if there was any concern about his health coming into this game, I think those questions have been answered, Rich.
Extra point is good. How does Jacksonville State put points up? They've got one of the best running quarterbacks in the game, Tyler Huff. And then he finds his tight end, Sean Brown. And already it's 7-3.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. Whatever you need, get more with Geico. By Verizon. And by New Tums Gummy Bites. Fast heartburn relief in every yummy gummy bite.
And he did admit yesterday that his CBS blazer was a little dusty in the closet. But, man, this is a guy, he's kind of the godfather of tempo. He was one of the real first coaches to really use tempo to his advantage. And it spread throughout college football. And at Jacksonville State, he's taken a program into FBS and has them in the championship game of Conference USA in just their 2nd year in the league.
Yeah, he talked about tempo being the foundation of their offense, and feels like there's an advantage there just keeping the defense on their heels throughout the game.
Easton Messer from his 4. Messer finds a seam and gets knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line. He's had 2 nice kickoff returns. Let's check in with Amanda Guerra. Amanda?
Parents are in the stands watching their kids play, but not for Western Kentucky quarterback Caden Velkamp. His dad, Jason, is the director of strength and conditioning for the football team. Now, Caden says it's been awesome. When his dad is on the sideline, it is all business, but if Caden has a good play, comes over, gives him a fist bump. Fun fact, his brother Colton just signed with Georgia Southern, and their coach, Clay Helton, the brother of Tyson.
That's something. They've got him playing for brothers. Brothers playing for brothers. Now let's see if Western Kentucky can answer the touchdown drive. They had a nice drive and a long completion that originally was a completion, but upon review was reversed. And they ended up with a 54-yard field goal for their first score.
And that's going to be the thing for West Kentucky all night. They have the confidence that they can move the ball against this Jacksonville State defense, but can they finish drives in the end zone is going to be the huge question all night.
Yeah, that's what Tyson Helton said. He said, we left points out on the field 6 days ago. Elijah Young and Jacksonville State, J-Rock Swain with another nice play.
And a miscommunication again there by West Kentucky, and see number 30 that time, J-Rock Swain forcing the cutback, and then Number 15 there, Jabril Alameen, able to clean it up for another short gain, and here they are again in a third down situation. I expect Jacksonville State to bring a little bit of a blitz right now. They're in a renegade, which means everybody's standing up, walking around, trying to confuse the offensive line on which gaps they're going to rush.
Play clock, and I don't think they were going to get it off. They got a timeout.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout, Western Kentucky. They're first. 30 seconds.
So right now, a lot of confusion going on with Western Kentucky. They're not on the same page. That play before, a loss in the backfield there, and then again having to burn a timeout.
Rich Rodriguez trying to find his success and his groove back here in Alabama at Jacksonville State. First 3 games, he wasn't concerned because his first 2 years they won and they had a really nice nucleus, but they had 60 new players that joined that nucleus, and they kicked it into gear, winning 8 in a row before the loss 6 days ago on that last-second field goal to this Western Kentucky team.
Yeah, well, he's 26-10 of his career here at Jacksonville State. He's a 5-time Coach of the Year, and he likes what he's building so far at Jacksonville State.
Velkamp in an empty backfield.
2 linebackers walked up in the A-gap. Now they're adjusting there. A little chess game going between O and D.
Velkamp pressured. Little outlet pass there. That's Hutchinson, and Hutchinson lunges for the stick. I don't think he got there, though. Hutchinson to maybe the 42, and he needed to get just past the 43.
Tyson Helton has a decision to make here. I would punt this football. A really nice effort by Hutchinson to try to get this first down, and almost a face mask right there, but he was just short. I would punt this football right here.
Yeah, there's an injured player right now for Jacksonville State. And with the stretch, the way they're stretching that left leg,
he's pointing at his left calf right there. And just tightened up a little bit.
It's Kaiwan McCray. Oh, excuse me. It's Fred Davis. And Davis on his way to the sideline.
Nice to see him jogging off the field there. If you're Jacksonville State, you've got to be aware now of some sort of fake. And it looks like they're going to bring the offense back on the field.
Offense is coming back on the field. It's early.
Yep, it's championship game. Look, we saw the Detroit Lions go for it on the 4th down to try to seal the game last night. I like this call by Coach Helton. You want to be aggressive. You want to show your team that you're in it to win it tonight.
Velkamp is a big quarterback, 6'6", 236. He's hit in the backfield. I don't know that he got it.
Oh, this is really close because he was hitting the backfield, but he lunged forward, Rich, and the ball may have gotten to the first down marker.
The Latte Hale was the first to hit him. I mean, he's big. I told you, 6'6", 236, and he didn't get it. The spot is short of the 43. So the gamble goes sideways on Western Kentucky.
And watch Lalete Hale just shoot through the gap and stop Velkamp short of the first down. An extraordinary play early in this game. Jacksonville State, big time.
At 8 a.m. Eastern, that other pregame show, the Tops teams gets you ready for a whole slate of NFL action right here on CBS Sports Network. Tyler Huff, opening drive, and he was the catalyst.
And you could tell Rich Rod wanted to get him involved early, right? Anytime you're coming back from an injury, you get a little shaken up the game before, it's important to be able to get those couple hits early. He drove down the field and was able to end it with a touchdown pass.
Great field position for Huff and this Gamecock offense. He can throw it as well. Has a man open. And it's incomplete. Cam Vaughn. It almost looked like Vaughn lost the ball. He didn't adjust.
I thought this was a short touchdown and perhaps just out of the reach of Cam Vaughn, but I thought perhaps he would have laid out for that to at least attempt to try to dive and catch that football.
Vaughn is their most explosive receiver, 35 catches and 8 touchdowns. 2nd and 10, little pitch to Trey Stewart. And Stewart, with that speed, is inside the 40 to the 38. Let's check in with Amanda Guerra.
Well, Rich, an update for you on number 17 tight end Sean Brown. They took him into the tunnel to evaluate him. They decided to put him on the cart, took him back to the training facility. He was very, very frustrated when they did that. I'm still working to get a specific injury on him. I'll let you know when I have something more.
All right, Amanda, thank you. Huff, little fake run, throws it, Stewart bobbles it, and doesn't catch it. It's incomplete. There's a lot of moving parts to this play.
Is an incomplete pass. 4th down.
And it all went well until Stewart bobbled it.
And the issue here is Jordan McCants, number 88, who's playing on the outside. He's got to release outside and get the corner out of the way there. He's got to run. And they're going for it here in positive territory. I like the call by Rich Rod.
So let's see if this 4th down works. Huff, short throw. This one is caught. And it's Stewart again, who's a terrific receiver out of the backfield. And they move the chains.
Yeah, we call that a rail route. They're in man coverage, and that linebacker has to go through all that traffic to try to get the running back. Nice catch that time.
Ball at the 30. Huff pulls it, fires it. That's McCants with the catch. And that's a gain of about 4. It's the 4th down throw. Stewart took a really good hit.
Yeah, nice job, and could have been a targeting there potentially. I like the fact that they didn't call it there, but nice catch there. A hit by Darius Thomas, but a nice catch by Trey Stewart there.
The tempo right now is not usually where it is for this team. Huff, play action, fires it, wide open, caught, touchdown, and that's Vaughn again. 26 yards.
So Tyler Huff says, look, I couldn't get you the first time. Let me come back to you a few plays later. Let's try it again. This time he's open again for a 2nd time in the end zone, and how about the freshman? He's the leading freshman wide receiver, Rich, in all of Conference USA. He's been an extraordinary player for such a young kid, and he's already playing at a high level, and he's got a bright future.
Two 4th downs figure in this touchdown. This was the stop. A conversion and then a touchdown throw and a 14-3 lead. Jacksonville State. 14-3, Jacksonville State on top. Tomorrow the biggest game is on CBS. Number 3 Penn State, number 1 Oregon. Big Ten championship game presented by Discover. And the kickoff primetime 8 Eastern. The Big Ten is on CBS and it streams on Paramount Plus. And this will all change here in about 48 hours, right? You would think. There's going to be some upsets, there's going to be some disappointment, and there's probably going to be a few surprises.
Oh, yeah. A lot of coaches are going to be fighting and arguing for playoff spots, that's for sure.
Been impressed just the way Tyler Huff has thrown the ball.
Yeah, watch this route by Cam Vaughn. He's going to start up and then break inside like he's going to run a slant, and then boom, right back out. And DeMarco Williams, who's in coverage, breaks on that in-breaking route, and that's how Cam Vaughn is able to create space and get into the end zone for a touchdown. Let's not forget now, DeMarco Williams, number 7, starting in place of Anthony Johnson, who's injured tonight. And DeMarco is usually a safety. So he's playing corner tonight, and Rich Rod is taking advantage of it.
There was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty So that backed the kickoff up, and with a fair catch called for at the 24-yard line, let's see where they mark the football.
That's an interesting fair catch right there.
I'm not, yes, because you're going to, I mean.
You could have the ball at the 40-yard line there, you get a 10-yard return. Interesting decision there by Tyler Helton.
Yeah, they mark it right at the 25. You get a short kickoff like that, you get a 10-yard return, you're sitting out at the 35, 40-yard line.
Absolutely.
Felton Camp, and it's incomplete. Noah Meyer is the intended receiver. Caden Veldkamp right now in Western Kentucky trying to get it together offensively.
Yeah, right now it's clear. They're not on the same page. They're late to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback, wide receivers, not communicating well on routes. They've got to play with a better sense of urgency right now.
Blitz comes. Veldkamp has time, fires it down the sideline. Messer, and it's incomplete. Zechariah Poyser in coverage.
Rich Rod called Zechariah Poyser the most coachable player on the team, and right there, he's step for step with Easton Messer and able to get his left hand on that football to disrupt that catch. And, you know, these DBs right now doing a really nice job against a really high-powered passing offense for Western Kentucky.
0 of 2 on third down, and importantly, 0 of 1 on fourth down. That gave Jacksonville State a short field and led to their last touchdown. And that's an early start up front.
Jacksonville State, not much of a penalized team this season, Rich.
Delay of game. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So delay of game, though it was Shane Peyton Hodges who jumped through. It's still going to be third down, but it's a more manageable one now at third down at 5.
Yeah, you can shift and you can do all of those things, but you can't make any noises and things of that nature down there.
So as we noted, 0 for 2 so far on third down. Another blitz. Veldkamp, that's a bump. I don't know that you're going to get a flag, though, and it's incomplete. And Jacksonville State's going to get the football back. The Western Kentucky sideline thought this might have been interference here.
Yeah, I thought he got there. Right there, that's pass interference. I mean, he's early. Poyser that time, he's in good position. But I thought he just made contact a little bit early that time with the wide receiver. I thought that should have been called.
Cole Maynard is the punter. And a timeout. Too many men were on the field, and that's a
Timeout. Jacksonville State. They're first. 30 seconds.
That's a heads-up coaching staff to prevent a penalty there. We're back in 30. 14-3. Western Kentucky punting. Good spiral. Flip Rudolph at the 22. And Rudolph goes down. 48-yard punt. If you are just joining us, you've missed Tyler Huff. He's put on a show already.
I mean, really from the first snap of the game, Jacksonville State has been intentional about getting him the ball in the run game, and then obviously he's been able to get the ball down the field and find some open targets. 2 touchdowns tonight through the air.
You know, last week he was injured in the third quarter of that game. Before then, he was just 3 of 11, but he did run for 97 yards. Kind of a slow mesh there, and Stewart is out to about the 29-yard line.
Yeah, and you know, Rich, I want to go back to that stat. You know, he's 3 for 11 last week before he got injured. That was the question mark coming to this game was, will Jacksonville State be able to throw the football against this defense?
Stewart to the 30, and that, look, as much yardage as they run for, that's the design of just about every defense they faced, is force them to beat you through the air, because that guy, Tyler Huff, and the running back, Trey Stewart, could both run for 100.
And that's what Western Kentucky wants to do. They want to stack the box and force Jacksonville State to win throwing the football.
This time, they're going to be about a yard short, a couple yards for Huff on that run. Dallas Walker there to stop him.
Yeah, the punt team was about to come on.
Oh, they're not coming on. They're playing tempo.
It's third and under a yard here. Fourth and under a yard right here in this situation, excuse me.
So they picked up that 1 4th down, and that helped them to their last touchdown.
Maybe they feel like, hey, they're up 14-3.
Yeah,
let
but
this run clock, this clock run down and call timeout.
Yeah, hope for somebody to jump offside. They're going to burn a timeout.
Timeout, Jacksonville State.
I'm not sure about that. All right, let's check in with Amanda Guerra. Amanda?
Hey guys, well, we knew Tyler Huff was going to give it his all in this game. After all, keep in mind, he is a member of the Army Reserve. Head coach Rich Rodriguez told us, if he is leading our troops, I know we're in a good spot. I asked him, what makes Huff so elite since it is his first season here at Jacksonville State? He goes, it's that athleticism and toughness. If he can get the most out of every play, he's like, if a guy should be down after 3 yards somehow, he's going to find a way to make it 7. But also the arm talent we're seeing in this game is incredible.
Yeah, Amanda, it's this guy has been a headache for Conference USA all year. And the transfer from Furman, and that's, one of the things that they've done here at Jacksonville State. When they get transfers, there's guys that really want to prove themselves at the next level, from FCS or Division II. And that punt rolls down to the 16. Now, Jacksonville State's defense, very good in the red zone, numbers-wise. They're giving up 400 yards a game. That's not great, but tonight, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah, and then on the key to this defense tonight is they've been getting stops on critical downs, 3rd down and 4th down situations, and then they've been foot to foot with these wide receivers all night long tonight, Rich.
Well, you hope if you're Jacksonville State, burning that timeout doesn't come back to bite you at the end of the first half. We're in the final minute 17 of the first quarter.
West Kentucky's really got to get going here on this drive now. You see the quarterback saying, kill, kill. It's changing the play.
Belkamp, little pitch on the reverse, trying to get outside. That's Matheson, and he does. And Matheson across the 25 has got the first down. It's an 11-yard pickup. Some creativity from the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, just trying to get their playmakers in space, and this time Hutchinson's able to get around the edge. A miscommunication by the defense on who has the outside contain. You see 2 defenders try to force it back inside. One of those guys has got to stay inside and make that tackle. Nice play design there by Coach Helton.
This is George Hart III, and Jawan Campbell makes the stop for Jacksonville State.
George Hart, second leading rusher on this football team. He'll get in and get some carries. He's more of a bruiser than Elijah Young is, and they like to get him in the game to get that downhill physicality going.
Chilly night here in Alabama. Second and 8. Blitz again. Belkamp rolling. Nice throw there. Caught from behind is Messer. And Messer is short of the first down. So another 3rd down coming up.
Big time tackle right
Western
there.
Kentucky. Messer limps to the sideline. They're going to have some time to talk about this 3rd down call. Entertaining first half. Jacksonville State on top. Headed to the second. You're watching the 2024 Conference USA Championship on CBS Sports Network. A championship mascots, probably the warmest individuals on the field right now. 14-3. Moments ago, Tyson Helton with Amanda Guerra.
Coach, just about 2.8 yards per rush right now, whether it's that or the throwing game. What do you guys need to do to extend these offensive drives?
Well, we've had our chances here early on. Went through it on a 4th and 1, didn't make it. We made some good plays. We got a good drive going. We got a 3rd and 2 right here. We got to convert and keep rolling.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Nice job, Amanda. It's a spirited dance competition Well, the mascots here. There's your stats. You know, Western Kentucky's balanced, but Jacksonville State made that big 4th down conversion, had a big 4th down stop, and a 14-3 lead. 3rd down, a little less than 2 yards. Veldkamp's going to roll. They're going to throw to try to get this, and they do. Nicely done. Matheson with the catch, and he rambles out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
There's Hutchinson coming in motion, and the corner there, number 1, Jameer Lattimore, just doesn't recognize it late, doesn't get there in time, and just enough for a 1st down.
Well, the box was filled, and everyone, it seemed like that was in the box was coming. And Talon Carter there to make the stop of Elijah Young. And it's Jacksonville State right now that's shutting down the run.
Not able to get much on the ground, but that's not really where the strength is for Western Kentucky. They want to take shots down the field. They've got to get Elijah Young more involved, Rich, in the passing game right now, I think, to open up this offense.
That's Young, finds his way through, bounces off a tackle into Jacksonville State territory, and down at the 44. Jameer Lattimore makes the stop.
That's a really nice downhill run. He gets his football and breaks the tackle right there. Able to keep his feet moving for a good 1st down.
Another carry inside the 45, maybe half a yard. The late flag comes down in the defensive backfield. Fred Davis was tangled up there with Keyshawn Johnson.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 93. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run, 1st down.
That's a big penalty.
Yeah, it looked like you're going to see at the top of your cries. Those are the wide receiver and cornerback you were talking about there, Keyshawn Johnson and Fred Davis going at it right there, but the face mask was there in the trenches there on Elijah Young, grabbing his face mask on the way to the ground.
You see the penalties. Last week it was the opposite. Western Kentucky had a ton of penalties. It gave up a lot of yardage, 40 yards already against Jacksonville State. Veldkamp dancing around, and he flips it, and it's incomplete.
We'll go back to the face mask penalty right there.
There was a receiver in the area.
There it is, just trying to make the tackle and gets that left hand caught up in the face mask, and that's what forced the penalty right there. And here we go, Western Kentucky again, Rich. They're moving the ball down the field, right? This is what they can do, but can they finish it off in the end zone?
Veldkamp blitz again, flushed, lost the ball, still lost it, and Jacksonville State has it at midfield. Kaiwan McCray. A disaster for Western Kentucky.
And honestly, Rich, this is one of the impacts that cold weather can have, right? Rolling out, you're just a routine play, and you can just lose the ball. The ball can get a little slick in cold weather. That's why you see some quarterbacks wear gloves at times.
A 14-3 lead, and now a big turnover and great field position. All of that for Jacksonville State. Jacksonville, and I think when people hear that, they think about the beach and the sun. I know it's December and it's not that warm there, but this is Jacksonville, Alabama. Fine little town and a burgeoning football program. And not a fun place right now for Western Kentucky. They're down 14-3. Jacksonville State, great field position, and this guy, Tyler Huff, is tough to stop. And Huff has got another 11 yards, and we check in with Amanda Guerra.
Well, hey there, Rich. I'm here on the Western Kentucky sideline, and I'll tell you, it's pretty incredible. There is no frustration on this sideline right now. The way this game is going, you think they would be frustrated. Head coach Tyson Helton has told us, look, his team knows what it's like to have their backs against the wall. They're ready to fight.
Huff, deep throw, and it's going to be incomplete. Hey, Amanda.
Yes?
In our meetings this week, I believe it was Tyson Helton offered for you to sit by the heater if you were over on their sideline. Has that come true?
I've stolen a lot of the heaters, yes, and I do apologize if my words ever fumble because my chin is frozen.
Yes.
But I will tell you, the Western Kentucky people, they've said, this weather's nothing. We're used to practicing in the snow. This is fine.
I know they do. That's Huff again. He's a terrific ball handler, as well as a great runner and a great thrower, because right now Western Kentucky has no clue where this is going.
I mean, how many quarterbacks, as we take a look at the first 3 possessions for Jacksonville State, the first 2 ended in touchdowns, and they had a punt on the last drive, but I mean, Tyler Huff could have easily ran out of bounds right there. He lowers his shoulder on the sideline and gives the defender a little thump.
He's already at 99 yards. And maybe he's going to get a yard there, which should put him at 100 yards already in this game. Terrence Ellis made the stop.
And the interesting thing about the offensive scheme for Jacksonville State is everything's a read for Tyler Huff. I mean, some of these are set-up quarterback runs, but he has the option to give it to Trey Stewart if he wants to. Just depends on the defensive, how they play it.
Huff swings it out. And it was not a good throw, and Stewart had to go to his knees to make the catch. Oh. And he's actually going to lose yardage.
Rich, he wanted to go to his tight end. He was open down the seam that time, right there on the hash mark, but he wasn't looking. He's looking at his tight end. He didn't look in time, and so he decided to go to his check down, but number 81, Jacob Barrick, was coming open there, just didn't get his head around.
All right, this is an ambitious third down here. Third down and 12.
0 for 2 tonight. 2 for 10 last week.
Huff throws short. That's Barrick with the catch. And he's not going to get the first down. This is going to be a field goal opportunity for Jacksonville State. And they've got a good kicker as well. Garrison Ripa is 13 of 17. Rich Rodriguez wants touchdowns. But he's going to have to settle for a 3-point try here. Amanda's right, it's bitterly cold here. It's around 30 degrees. And 30 degrees in the south, folks, is colder than like 15 degrees in places like Minnesota. I'm telling you, it's chilly. 43 yards here. Rip of the lefty. And he pushed it and missed it.
That was close.
And maybe that's a shot of adrenaline for those Hilltoppers. That goes as a stop for Western Kentucky. They're not done yet. 14-3, Jacksonville State. Early second quarter, Conference USA Championship game, Jacksonville State on top. Sunday, Week 14, NFL on CBS showcases outstanding regional action. Browns and Steelers, key NFC West matchup. Seahawks and Cardinals. Now that's a CBS Sports Sunday. On CBS, it streams on Paramount+. Notable quarterbacks coached by Tyson Helton. Helton had a stop at USC briefly, where he worked with Sam Darnold. Of course, Bailey Zappi, I think he was released and then re-signed with the Browns this week. Elijah Young out to the 32-yard line. All right, first 4 possessions for Western Kentucky. Ever since that review that overturned a nice completion, they haven't been able to get much done.
No, they had a field goal on that first drive, and that's really been about it. And, you know, it's really been the miscommunication offensively by them, and at times they've been able to move the football, but they just can't finish drives right now.
Belcamp, little inside screen to Messer, finds his lane, but not a lot of vertical progress. Enough for the first down, though, out to the 37-yard line.
And this is the big drive for Western Kentucky. To Amanda's point, no panic on the sideline like she mentioned. So, you know, the poise and confidence is there. They just got to get something going and figure out how to finish here.
Again, it's Young, and Young with a burst is across midfield and inside the 45, down at the 43-yard line.
So far in this game, they've been able to find some success on the left side of their offense, giving the ball to Elijah Young. They're going to continue to attack that side there. Another big game.
Young again, and stopped at the 41. We check in with Amanda Guerra.
So actually, I have a question for Robert here. I was talking to the radio guy for Western Kentucky, and we were noting that Caden Veldkamp doesn't use hand warmers at all. It's very cold out here. The ball gets very hard and very cold. Obviously, he's tough. He's the strength and conditioning coach's son. But Robert, how many quarterbacks do you know in this situation don't use those?
0.
Deep shot, and it's incomplete. Good coverage along that sideline. Keyshawn Johnson, the intended receiver, and Derek Carter with the coverage.
And again, they've been trying to attack Derek Carter in this game, and he's really been step for step with these receivers. Another good play there, nice coverage, a little grab with the jersey that time. But I'll tell you what, not having any hand warmers as a quarterback, though, a little bit different, something that I haven't quite. Every quarterback that I've played with has used hand warmers in cold weather games.
Play-by-play and analyst using hand warmers tonight. Just to be on the record, 3rd down and 8, play action. Veldkamp's throw is incomplete. He didn't really have time. Matheson, the intended receiver, and he was covered.
Here he comes. Number 18, able to get some pressure on the quarterback that time. That's Zechariah Poyser. Elijah Young got to do a little bit better job in pass protection there, but you know, that was the game plan coming in for this defense. Jacksonville State wanting to put pressure on Veldkamp.
Lucas Carnero had hit a 54-yarder earlier in this game, but this field goal attempt would have been back at 58-59. So a punt, Jacksonville State gets the ball back. They lead it 14-3. Just his kind of environment tonight here in Jacksonville, Alabama. 14-3. All right, Robert Turbin, who's your pick? Big 12 championship as we look to tomorrow.
Iowa State.
Oh, Iowa State.
Yeah,
okay.
I like
all right,
it.
next choice, SMU.
Clemson.
The Tigers. I'm going Tigers on that one.
Tigers.
All right. We're in agreement. SEC championship.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going
Georgia.
I'm going Georgia. I'm with you. Last one, Big Ten. Ooh, tough one.
Give me the Ducks, baby.
Okay, I'll go Ducks. Such a great contrast, that matchup,
If I didn't
right?
pick your team, please. It's just we're just doing this for fun.
I mean, think about
I'm
those.
not against anybody. I want
about-
everybody to win.
Those two schools. I mean, so different. The uniforms, right? The style of play.
Right.
It's a great matchup.
Penn State can wear the
CBS.
same uniforms forever.
Oregon has like 19 combinations, and I think Penn State has 2.
They got 2, home and away.
Yes.
No alternatives.
If you're just joining us, this is Conference USA, their championship game on a chilly night in Alabama, and it's a rematch. These two teams played each other 6 days ago, and Western Kentucky in white kicked a 50-yard field goal at the end just to win the game and get here to the championship game. And 6 games later, here they are. And Robert, you know, both offensive coordinators, there is a flag down at the 22-yard line.
Jacksonville State, they're first.
Just a warning, both coordinators and head coaches said, yeah, it's weird. We didn't know what to change. Do you change from last week what you did well? How do you make adjustments when you're playing a team 6 days later?
Well, you want to do what worked. So whatever worked for you last week, you want to come into the game and have a similar game plan heading into this week. And that's where defensively, Western Kentucky, they've actually been a little bit different defensively, where last week they were 8-9 guys in the box to be able to stop this run. They've lightened up that box, and Jacksonville State is taking advantage.
Play action, little screen there to Vaughn, and he's got the first down, and Vaughn is across the 30. Creative play call. It's different, right, with Rich Rodriguez. It's tempo, they go fast, but they're running the ball, and occasionally they're throwing the ball.
And when they throw the ball, they make you pay most of the time.
It's 13 yards on that.
6 guys in the box right here.
And Hoff pulls it. Oof, he didn't mind that. He seeks out contact.
I mean, he put his left foot down to run into the defender. Usually, you're trying to make a move on a guy. Look at this. Left foot down, runs right into Devontae Matthews. Gets a couple extra yards there, fighting him off. Good job taking care of the football.
Stewart over left tackle. That's enough for the first down. That's about a 5-yard carry.
Stewart's like, finally, let me get into the action a little bit. Huh, Ty?
Yeah. Well, look, you know, they're chewing up yardage right now. Huff has done the most damage. He's at 110 yards of their 126.
Look at this. 6 guys in the box right here for Western Kentucky. That's different than last week. Last week, it was always at minimum 7, 8, 9 guys in the box to stop the run.
And when they've done play action, they've had people open, and Huff slices through again across midfield. So, rushing the football, you would think, hey, they're so good at it. Time of possession, not so good, because they go tempo. So there's no sitting around like Army does. UNLV is not a tempo team. New Mexico making the list. By the way, congratulations to your Utah State program. Bronco Mendenhall is your new head coach.
Great hire for them. I know everybody in Logan is excited for that. As Jacksonville State converts for another first down, and you talk about the tempo that they, play with and not having time of possession, but look how long this drive is taking. They're able to still wear defenses down because they're so physical in the run game.
And Rich Rodriguez talked about that, the difference between tempo passing and tempo rushing. He said, if you're tempo and you're running it, it's demoralizing if you're getting first down after first down and you got to get back up and defend the run in succession like that.
Jacksonville State still rushed for over 200 yards last week against West Kentucky's defense, but they kept them out of the end zone, and a huge part of that was because of their run game as they get back to the line of scrimmage.
9th play of this drive.
But again, 6 guys in the box right there. That's why Jacksonville State's been able to have so much success running the football right now.
And on play action here, another deep shot. This one is caught. It's Vaughn, who caught the touchdown and is inside the 5.
6'2", 190 out of Temple High School in Georgia, and man, he's making some big-time plays tonight.
Stewart, and the whistle stops the play.
Prior to the play, we were buzzed from replay. The previous play is under further review.
They go so fast, they don't give you an opportunity, but to me, that's a clear catch. I don't see how you can reverse that, especially from that angle there.
All right, remember the first time that they reversed it, it was the second angle that told us. This is the second angle.
Kent Robinson is all over it. Nice coverage, but it still looks to me, once Cam Vaughn hits the ground, he still has the ball secured with his arm underneath. Boom, there it is. That's a great angle right there. That's awesome.
That's great work in the truck as well.
Yeah.
Matt Plundo, our director, terrific work in the tape room, cameras as well, and hats off to all the camera folk tonight who are out in the cold.
I'll tell you what, Kent Robinson, that's really good defense. I mean, he's got his arm in there, but just an extraordinary catch that time by Cam Vaughn. Good concentration, strong hands, able to hold on to it.
I do like that.
Really nice job.
Rory Bernard, the referee, said he...
After review, determined that the ruling on the field is confirmed. Catch.
Said he was buzzed by the replay booth.
They're still using pagers these days?
He got buzzed, man. Vaughn, among freshmen in Conference USA, first in catches, in yards, and in touchdowns.
He's been awesome this season.
He's got 3 catches, 73 yards here.
A true big play threat.
Jacksonville State so good in the red zone. We told you they're one of the country's best. at getting touchdowns, and they've got another one as Stewart busts in. And they stretch the lead.
Well, Trey Stewart's like, you didn't want to give me my touchdown the first time because you wanted to do replay review. Well, let me get the ball again so I can get that TD on the stat board for me. Nice job just getting it up inside and moving his feet, be able to drag the defender in there for a touchdown.
That's impressive. 10 plays, 88 yards, 4-14. Extra point is up and good. They just run it so well that when it's play action, everybody's moving forward. And it's the third time that Vaughn's gotten behind the defense.
And I'll tell you one of the big differences right now for me in this game, as we take another look at Trey Stewart's touchdown, it's the sense of urgency. I felt like last week's game, Western Kentucky was the team. They were fighting to get into the championship game, and you could tell by the way that they were playing. The urgency and the intentionality was there. This week, it's flipped. And Jacksonville State, coming off of the loss last week to Western Kentucky, they're the ones now playing with the more sense of urgency.
Isn't it it's a weird position to be in for Jacksonville State last week. They knew that they were going to host. They knew that they were in the championship game, and yet they had to play the game against a team that's trying to get into the championship game and face them.
Yeah, and when you're in a situation like that and you got young players, these guys are, what, 17, 18, 19, 20, you might take the foot off the gas a little bit in preparation for this opportunity.
Little short kick, and it's returned out to the 27-yard line. Gamecocks have put pressure on Veldkamp.
And that was the game plan, you know, coming into this week. And we had our conversation with Jacksonville State defensive coordinator Luke Olson, and he said, look, we want more takeaways, we want to be more disciplined in our assignments, and we want more 3-and-outs. That was the goal coming into this game, and part of that was putting pressure on Veldkamp, and they've done a good job of that tonight.
Luke Olson, 11 years at Tulsa, and that is pressure, real pressure. Antonio Carter, Veldkamp goes down.
Antonio Carter is going to come from the left side of your screen. Hale as well, right down the middle, number 16, and getting a sack that time. Nice job.
Oh, the screen blown up. Literally.
Oh, this defense now, they're trying to take over this football game, Rich.
That's Fred Davis.
Pure physicality that they're playing with. They get the big sack on first down. Second down, they try to come back with the screen, and Davis with a big-time hit in the backfield. Third and forever now for Western Kentucky.
Caden Veldkamp, just 8 of 16 for 43 yards. Play clock on its way down. Three-man rush, lots of time. Veldkamp squares, fires. It's a wobbler, and it's late, and it's broken up. Dalvin Smith, the intended receiver. Jabari Mack was there to knock it away.
Yeah, had a target there. He was open, but he floated that football up, and Jabari Mack able to then break on that football and knock it down.
That one did not come out cleanly of his hand. And remember, as you pointed out, in that disastrous fumble turnover that led to the last touchdown, it literally came out of his hand when he cocked his hand to throw the pass. So maybe that cold weather right now is bothering Caden Veldkamp.
May want to consider those hand warmers.
Yeah, that's a good point. 43 yards on the punt. It's rare that you find this 1-2 punch, right? I mean, maybe Army had it and has it, and that is a quarterback and a running back that can go for 150 on the same night. Yeah. Now, Stewart's only at 22 right now, but Huff is well over 100.
And it's interesting too, Rich, because Huff and Stewart are the second quarterback running back duo to eclipse 1,000 yards each in a season. And so it just shows how dominant and dynamic they've been playing together.
Almost 2,600 yards combined rushing. Inside throw, Vaughn with a dive, and he holds it. And that's a first down.
That ball came out a little bit late. They may take a look at this, but he could have been down with possession first.
The field was a completed catch for a first down. 2-minute timeout.
He caught that football. We'll see what they decide when we come back.
Yeah, the front break. Verdict when we return. Cam Vaughn. Did he catch it? We'll find out. Back to Jacksonville, Alabama, after this. 21-3, Jacksonville State Conference USA Championship game. Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, Beanie Wells, Christian Fourier will break down this game, get you ready for a huge weekend, Conference Championship weekend. It's all coming up. Verizon halftime reports. It was confirmed as a catch.
He's got possession of the football, hits the ground, still has possession there, and just rips it out after. That's a clean catch.
First and 10 here. Trey Stewart.
Number 28, Trey Stewart on the carry.
These two running backs for either side have different running styles.
That's one Trey Stewart, when he watches that one on film, he's going to wish he had that one back, because if he just keeps it downhill, he may be able to break a tackle there and take it to the house. He tries to bounce it outside that time, and that helped the defender get the leverage to make the tackle.
Oh, he breaks that one to the 10, inside the 5. Kylan Guidry made the stop, 31 more yards on the ground for Jacksonville State.
And that's a really great effort by Guidry, but how about Trey Stewart as they go back to the line of scrimmage?
Going quickly. Touchdown, Stewart. That's tempo in the run game. That's Rich Rodriguez.
Jacksonville State, this is their style of play right here, keeping the defense on their heels and just attack, attack, attack. And they find themselves into the end zone again, and Trey Stewart now finding his groove in this game.
And I'll bet the reaction when you're watching that is, look, they should run more time off. They're on the doorstep, run the clock, score, and go in at half. That's not their style. They want to get to the line and snap it again, and they don't care about the book or whatever. That's how they roll. Stewart now has 61 yards.
Here's Stewart's just going to get this ball right here. You call this an inside zone play, and he just follows his blockers, bounces it to the outside, and able to find the space to get into the end zone. And early on, it was Tyler Huff, Rich, getting all the attention in the run game, getting most of the carries, and finally Trey Stewart's able to get involved and get a couple touchdowns of his own.
Well, they're on pace to get over 300 yards rushing right now. And Huff has got 127. Stewart has got 61. They've got almost 300 total yards. Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers, have allowed 17 or fewer in 5 of the last 7, but tonight 28-3 in a championship game. Nobody touched it. It rolls into the end zone. Touchback. We'll bring it back out to the 25. And look, the offense has been great, but the defense has been spectacular.
They really have. I mean, they started off the last drive getting a sack, blowing up the screen play in the backfield, and then third and really long that time, and they're able to make a play in the secondary. But this is an opportunity right here for Western Kentucky to really start to gain some momentum offensively. You're in a 2-minute situation, and sometimes when you go fast, you're able to catch a rhythm. There's that left side again.
Yeah, and there's that man again, Elijah Young. Young starting to pick up some decent numbers. That's 12 yards on that carry. And an injury on the field. 74 yards already for Elijah Young.
He's a really, really good player, Rich.
Antonio Carter is down.
Here's the run here. Elijah Young off that left side. So good at breaking tackles, so elusive, and puts his shoulder there. And there, that is Carter. Little helmet-to-helmet contact that time. Clean by both players. And, you know, Carter initially pops up, then felt a little bit uncomfortable afterwards.
Led with the shoulder.
They're not looking at anything in his upper body. It's looking at something there down below there, his lower leg there.
Jacksonville State will get the football to start the second half. I think that adds urgency to this drive for Western Kentucky.
And a really nice way to start the drive as jog off the field there. Elijah Young getting the first down, and it's a good way to sort of jump start the drive. And he'll be key in this 2-minute situation because, you know, he's been getting the ball a lot, running on the ground, but, you know, he's a difference maker in the passing game as well. Western Kentucky hasn't gotten him involved yet in that part of their offense. Maybe they will here in this 2-minute situation.
Here comes a blitz. Veldkamp is flushed and pursued and whips one. It's picked on the deflection. Terrific play by Poyser. Wow. And there's plenty of time now for Jacksonville State.
So Veldkamp is going to roll out to his right and get some pressure in his face, flushes him out. He's got a receiver open and just off his fingertips there. And what about the concentration by Poyser to secure that ball, get his hands underneath. That ball doesn't hit the ground. That's a catch.
The field was an interception. The previous play is under further review.
You're going to take a look at it, but that looks like a catch to me going the other way.
Watch the ball and the ground and there. I don't know. With that look, and especially stopping the video at that moment, it looks like the ball's resting on the ground and there's nothing underneath it. What do you think?
That's a close one, Rich.
This is like the fourth one we've had tonight.
What am I? Am I 2 for 3 for 3, 2 for 2?
Yeah,
you're supposed to be keeping track for me.
Yeah, I think 3 for 3.
Maybe 3 for 4 after this one.
You got a ways to catch Gene Steratore, but you're on your way.
That's a close one. That ball does hit the ground. I still thought he had good control of it.
But again, the pressure, which caused the throw that was high, that caused the tip, and then the apparent pick. But
I still think it's going the other way. I think it's an interception.
Oh, I think it's overturned. So I'm going out on a limb here. You're 3 for 3. I'm chiming in. Obviously, Jacksonville State has got it, already put it in the books. They're pretty happy over there.
They're celebrating over there.
Right.
Maybe I am as good as Gene Steratore. Uh-oh. No. Looks like defense is coming back out on the field.
Well, every one of these calls, catch or no catch, have been like really razor thin too.
Yeah, they're going to call this incomplete.
Right. 3 for 4 is pretty good, though.
After review, determined that the defender did not maintain possession as the ball hit the ground prior to gaining possession. Incomplete pass is second down. Please reset the game clock to 55 seconds.
All right, 55 seconds, and still it's an important drive for Western Kentucky, who has been bowled over here in the first half of this championship game. Jacksonville State a 28-3 lead. Jacksonville State at home.
Elijah Young right there out wide. He's a playmaker. He's a running back, but they've got him out right there.
And that would be offside. A variety of receivers. There was a little budge as well.
It's like false start on the offense there.
False start. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, the receivers apparently were watching the offensive line.
And this was an area of emphasis for Western Kentucky. 10 penalties in that game last week against Jacksonville State. They've got to clean that up.
Second down, 15. It's a draw, and it's Young. Makes a miss. And he's got what looks like a first down. Let's see where they spot it. It's right near the stick. Clock has not stopped, and it's not a first down.
Oh, I thought he got the first down that time.
Third down, less than a yard. It's going to cost him time.
I'd give it right back to him just to get the first down.
Big blitz coming. Velkamp throws, sideline, dive, catch. And a first down. Clock stops. K.D. Hutchinson the catch. Let's watch this one. Catch, arm under, hand under. Here we go again.
The ruling on the field was a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
It's time to play catch or no catch. Robert Turbin, you're our leader so far tonight in this competition. What do you think?
So the difference between this one and the interception that was called not an interception is Hutchinson is able to keep his hands underneath the football. So even though the tip of the football hits the ground, this is going to still remain a catch because he still has his hands and arms underneath that football in control, whereas on the interception, the arm went to the side, the football then hit the ground fully, and that's where they determined an incomplete pass. So this is going to be a catch, and I'm going to move from 3 for 4 to 4 for 5 on tonight's reviews, Rich.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
It stands, so that's good enough for you to be 4 for 5. Congratulations. And again, we emphasize the importance for Western Kentucky to try to get some points out of this drive. Jacksonville State has the football to start the second half. Target line, 35-yard line. Obviously, they're thinking they need a touchdown. Velkamp fires it, and it's incomplete. Deep shot there. Michael Matheson was in the pattern, and it's second down and 10, but the clock now has melted all the way down to 11 seconds.
And if you're Western Kentucky, 11 seconds, you got 2 timeouts. Because you have timeouts, you can work the entirety of the field. You can work not just the outside. You don't have to prioritize getting out of bounds. The middle of the field is still an option for you if you want to use it.
9 of 19. Blitz comes. Velkamp's in trouble. Sidearm throw. Caught at the 40. That's Messer. He's short of the first down. They're going to have to call a timeout. And with 2 seconds left, this is going to be about a 58-yard attempt. Maybe 57. Or do you throw it to the end zone? I mean, Carnero's had an incredible year. You see the timeouts remaining. Carnero is 6 for 6 from beyond 50. He had a 54-yarder, and he set a school record after he missed his first one of the year. And now he's at 16 in a row.
Yeah, his longest one of the year was 54 yards against UTEP earlier this season. Let's see if they have the trust.
There's a lot of golfers out here that would like stuff like this. He just draws that ball. This was last week. That's 150-yarder. This was the game winner. See how that ball just draws back in?
That looked like a Rich Waltz curveball right there from the mound.
And he's not going to get a shot here, so they're going to try to throw this to the end zone. So a Hail Mary. Ball at the 41.
Jacksonville State, they're going to bring a little bit of pressure here, try to get that ball out quicker.
Yeah, they're coming with heat. Velkamp escapes. He needs to set up and throw. He gets caught, and that's a flag. And face mask will extend the half, and it will put them in field goal range. So that's a crucial mistake by Jacksonville State. I think Poyser may have been the one in pursuit.
I thought that was Hale that time.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 19. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
And it's
Joseph. One on-time down.
And it's Joseph that caught him and brought him down with the face mask. So that obviously changes the whole equation, and it opens the door for this fine young kicker, Lucas Carnero, out of Cornelius, North Carolina.
And if he makes this field goal, Rich, this game goes from a 4-possession game to a 3-possession game, which is big time heading into the second half.
Yes. 44 yards.
Automatic.
This guy is a really, really good college kicker. That's impressive. That's 17 in a row. And that from 44. Western Kentucky salvages 3 out of that drive, but they're in a hole right now in the Conference USA championship game. 28-6, Jacksonville State on to New York after this. Conference USA championship game, and Jacksonville State 28-6 lead headed to the third quarter. Rich Waltz, Robert Turbin, Amanda Guerra joins us shortly. Jacksonville State has dominated this game in just about every phase of the game.
They really have, on all phases of the football, offense, defense, and special teams getting into the action as well.
Yeah, and it is chilly here in Alabama. So let's take a look at the highlights. This is a guy, Tyler Huff, that will beat you with his legs and arms, and it was mostly legs to begin with.
Yeah, it started the game off with Huff really getting off with his legs, and then able to find his targets down the field for a couple of touchdown passes as well. And then how about Trey Stewart as well, Rich, in the backfield. We thought he was going to be a huge part of this offense, and he has been, but he has been able to take it to the house twice himself, along with Tyler Huff. These guys have been like Kobe and Shaq of the Conference USA this season.
Oh, I like that. On a cold night, that warms the heart, right? Okay. Numbers. What jumps out at you? Jacksonville State had no trouble in the red zone at all, for sure.
Western Kentucky able to put together some drives, but not able to finish drives so far in this game.
So, Jacksonville State did give up the late field goal at the end of the first half to Western Kentucky, but a comfortable lead and a chance in just their second year in Conference USA, second year at FBS to win the championship. First half possessions, good to start, good to finish.
And the thing for Western Kentucky, they've got to play with more intensity here in this second half if they want to get back in this football game.
It's the one thing that Huff and Stewart will do. They will test your appetite for contact. They will test your appetite for tackling.
And we had a conversation with Coach Rich Rod, and he talked about Huff and he talked about Trey Stewart and, you know, just the things that they're able to do well. And it's like, you know, they can make you miss so good. They make you tackle them, and it's hard to do for 4 quarters of a game.
303 total yards already. Stewart with a good move there to get inside that edge. And he'll pick up more yardage, probably about 3 yards.
And this is their identity. And as we approach a critical third down, it would be nice for Western Kentucky to be able to get a 3-and-out. One of the points of emphasis for this defense, defensive coordinator, Coach Summers, for Western Kentucky, emphasized the fact that, hey, we have to get more 3-and-outs against this Jacksonville State offense.
You know, and the point he made, too, is to do that, we have to be good on 1st and 10. We can't play 1st and 10 like it's 1st and 10. We got to play 1st and 10 like it's 3rd and 10 and come after him. Little option look. He'll keep it and pick up the first down. Tyler Huff, well over 100 yards rushing in this one, over 100 yards passing.
Interesting right here as Jacksonville State heads back to the line of scrimmage. He got 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers there in the box, 6-man box. They can run against that all day, Rich.
And they go with Stewart, and he does get across the 45 out to midfield. That's 15 more yards, and we check in with Amanda Guerra.
Well, Rich, I was able to talk to Tyson Helton at half. He had a big message for his team. One big example, their bowl game last season, they were down 28-0 at one point. They came back to win that game 38-35 in overtime. That's what they want to do in this game, a big comeback.
Huff with a pull on the RPO and to the 47.
And Jacksonville State, Rich, they're going to be content doing this all game long, right? Run the football, get 4 yards a carry, get back to the line of scrimmage, come right back at you again, and then boom, they'll surprise you with a little play action shot down the field.
As Amanda said, Western Kentucky obviously needs a big comeback, but they got to get a stop before they even think about that. Gorgeous throw, Petway with the catch, and another first down for the Gamecocks. That's 15 more yards.
Michael Petway had a big-time reception last week against Western Kentucky, went for 47 yards, and usually he's their down the field big play threat. First catch of the night.
Huff. And Huff with another nice run. That's 9 more yards.
And right now, this offensive line for Jacksonville State really just imposing their will.
And all 3 of these teams are playing right now, right? Boise State is up 14-0 over UNLV. Last I checked, Army is up 14-0 over Tulane. So all the teams that on that graphic that are running for over 200 yards in a game, they're all winning. Army's got 171. Genty may have close to that right now for Boise State as well. 52, we're told.
Well, the game they're in the first quarter.
I know. So if you
multiply
that by 4, he's going to have a good night. And this, look, you brought it up. It was such a close game. 6 days ago they met in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Western Kentucky had to win the game to get to this game. They did on a last-second field goal. They brought the juice in that game. But all the juice is here with Jacksonville State, and again, Trey Stewart, 15 more yards. The Verizon red zone has been owned by Jacksonville State tonight, 3 for 3.
All touchdowns too, Rich, no field goals.
Stewart left side, stacked up there. Stewart's over 100 yards now. Rich Rodriguez, this is tempo, and this is running the football tempo.
It really is, and it's nice to see number 17, Sean Brown, back in the game, tight end, starting tight end for Jacksonville State. He's a huge part of this run game because of his ability to block.
Yeah, caught a touchdown, then went out, and that's Huff, and he's in again.
They're making it look easy.
The route continues.
And they are making it look easy.
Conference USA history, he's got the most rushing touchdowns in a season. Tyler Huff.
By a quarterback.
Yes. Thank you for that. The qualifier was frozen on my lips. Just an all-around incredible effort. The 1-2 punch of Tyler Huff and Trey Stewart. 145 for Huff, 103 for Stewart, and Huff finishes the drive. The lead is huge.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands. And by Kit Kat Bars. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
And that facility, you saw the ribbon cutting there, is for the Loring and Debbie White Football Complex. And that was a $34 million project They have really spruced the stadium up. A big expansion about 12 years ago. And with that football complex, this, you know, if you're going to make the jump to FBS, you got to have facilities. They got facilities here. They got the coach, Rich Rodriguez, in his 3rd year. Easton Messer for Western Kentucky.
He's got space.
Yeah, and he's got speed as well. Messer cuts there. Messer makes a miss and is finally caught at the 36-yard line. He's been close to breaking a couple of them, and this time he got through that first and second wave.
A huge return that time by Messer, and a much-needed time for Western Kentucky as they need some momentum. They need some confidence heading into this first drive for them of the second half.
That's a 63-yard return.
Nice job blocking and getting into plus territory there on the kickoff return.
Now, the best thing about Western Kentucky's offense was Elijah Young's 88 yards on the ground in 13 carries. They have yet to get to the red zone in this ball game, and Young is going to get 2 hard-earned yards there. Quarterback comparison, and Caden Veldkamp, they've had trouble keeping pressure off of him. And of course, Huff's, those are the throwing numbers, but you add in his running numbers, and he's got 145.
Got a free play right here.
Flag is down. That's interference as well.
Be 2 flags. So the defense jumps off sides, they get a free play, and then there, the pass interference is going to give him even more yards.
Do you see that as a defensive back? You know that you're offside and it's a free play, and you don't mind bringing him down?
On the pass interference?
Yeah, to avoid a catch and a touchdown or a 40-yard.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Offside, defense.
Right?
That penalty's declined.
I mean, if you're
Pass
paying
interference.
attention.
Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
If it's going to be a clear touchdown,
yeah,
you're taught as a defender, if you can, you know, if you got to take the penalty, if you have to. In that situation, he didn't have to take the penalty. I thought he was in good position to actually make a play.
Gotcha. All right, well, they take the 15 yards. You see the penalty yardage. So far, that's not been an issue for Jacksonville State as they're up 35-6. Veldkamp hit, block, ball's loose. And I think it's a fumble, and it is, and it's Jacksonville State's ball. The call is fumble. J-Rock Swain recovers. Travis Franklin forces the fumble.
And we talked at the top of the broadcast, Rich, about the game plan for Jacksonville State defensively, wanting to bring blitz. They bring blitz off the edge again. Forces a fumble, second fumble of the game, and Jacksonville State recovers, and they get the ball back again, up 35-6.
35-6. Let's take another look at that big sack and fumble.
Yeah, so this right tackle gets caught in no man's land, ends up blocking this guy here, which leaves him free to come off the edge. And Travis Franklin Jr. able to get the sack fumble.
That's a 5th tackle for loss.
And then the recovery by J-Rock Swain. Big time play by the defense.
And Jacksonville State, who's been dominant tonight offensively, especially on the ground, is over 250 yards rushing.
So this is the point of the game right now for Western Kentucky. They've got to start to take some chances, blitz some guys, and they got to try to force a turnover here in this situation.
Oh, Huff looked like he was going to run it. Now he throws it. This is Stewart, and Stewart is knocked out of bounds. This is such a tough offense to defend. 49 yards.
He's going to run it, and then Trey Stewart just slips out as if he's going to block initially, then runs by the defender. And just the play design, all of these plays play off of each other, Rich. Rich Rodriguez does a nice job designing this offense.
Tip of the cap to a really good offensive line who did not go downfield on that play. And they kind of held their ground and allowed him to throw it. Kylan Guidry makes the stop.
Trey Stewart shaking up.
He took a beating last week. This is a guy that came from Limestone College, a Division II program.
Yeah. And his former teammate on the defensive side there, Chandler Matthews. There he is. Got the football, takes a hit. And the interesting thing is his teammates tried to help him up after the play, and he just shook his head no, as if he needed an extra breather. But nice to see him up and able to get off the field on his own power. He's had an incredible year this year.
Remember, this year for Rich Rodriguez started 0-3. But he said no panic. We had built the program, the culture, and he felt the culture and the program would carry the day, and they ripped off 8 straight wins.
Yeah, he mentioned, he talked about, he got a lot of players late who came in July and right before training camp, and so it just took some time to find that continuity, and say they didn't really change much. They just got better, kept doing the same things.
Huff fakes left, runs right, and doesn't go very far. Dave Herrard with the tackle, and now you got Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky. No punches thrown.
So a tackle is made there. And just a little extra bump. I don't think Herrard was trying to do anything that time. He just got up, and I thought it was an accidental bump that time. Maybe a little bit of a shove there, but Huff didn't like it.
No flags were planted.
West Kentucky's been good on third down defensively tonight.
Andrew Paul in the backfield, play action there. Back shoulder throw, and it's incomplete, and flags rain down in the end zone. 3 of them. Look at the flags. That's a definitive call.
Well, there's going to be pass interference, but they may get an unnecessary roughness, a little shove at the end of that play there by Hutchinson. Watch this. So he's holding, so there's the pass interference, but then watch this here. Just that extra shove by David Herrard.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 against each team.
Oh.
Ineligible player downfield, offense. Number 3, who was covered up at the snap. Pass interference, defense. Number 17, those fouls offset, replay, 3rd down.
Flip Rudolph was the ineligible man downfield. And that bails out Herrard. Trey Stewart's back in. And Huff, the pile still moving. And that was 3rd down and about 8, so this will be 4th down and about 4. You take the points here, you would think. Garrison Ripa, who has missed one tonight, is in for Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State has 430 total yards already. This a chippy, so to speak, 27 yards. And he knocks it through. Gamecocks put points on the board. Rich Rod rolling.
Welcome back. Jacksonville State well on their way to a Conference USA championship. Here's the thing. When you're making the transition from FCS to FBS, sometimes you aren't eligible to win a conference championship. That's exactly what happened to Jack State 2 years ago when they were leaving the Atlantic Sun. They had some more scholarship players. The conference said, guess what? You can't win. Well, they had the best record in the conference. Rich Rod said, you know what? Tell me what that trophy looks like. I'm going to get a replica made. In fact, I'm going to make it bigger, and then I'm going to give it to my team. That's exactly what they did. But Rich and Robert, they may get an actual trophy tonight.
Yes, in just their second year here in Conference USA. It's that transition period, and next year Conference USA will welcome in Missouri State and Delaware, and they have that same transition period where they're ineligible to play for the conference championship.
And it's interesting, too, because we had a conversation with a couple of the players about the transition, and we'll talk about it after we talk to New York.
All right, let's head to New York. What's going on, Brent Stover?
Well, Rich, Ashton Jeanty has become the all-time leading rusher in Boise State history. Rips off a 75-yard touchdown run in the Mountain West title game. They just hit halftime. Boise State leads UNLV 21-0, guys.
Turbo, you and I saw Ashton Jeanty 4 times this year, so no surprise that he's having a big night tonight. And obviously he's a Heisman candidate, and a lot on the line for Boise State against UNLV tonight. Here are your Heisman candidates. If you had to pick one now, where are you going?
It's really close, but I'm leaning towards Travis Hunter as the favorite right now to win the Heisman.
Now, if Jeanty goes for 250 tonight, does that move the needle for you? That's a back shoulder throw that's incomplete. Matheson, the intended receiver. Flag is down, and that looks like interference.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty from the previous block. Automatic first down.
Marco Baker. So, say he goes for 250 tonight. Does that move the needle for the Heisman?
It might. I mean, he's had an extraordinary season this year. I'm not sure if I can still put him above Travis Hunter at this juncture of the season.
Katie Hutchinson the catch, and Hutchinson gets out to the 50. And why is that? I mean, what's criteria here? I'm not criticizing, I'm just curious.
Well, you know, Travis playing on both sides of the football, that's unique. And not only is he playing on both sides, but just being able to make plays, big-time plays in those spots. You talk about the teams and the games that they've been in.
False start. Offense, number 4. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Everything going wrong right now for Western Kentucky.
He's just been a big-time player going back to Travis Hunter. But Ashton Jeanty, I mean, you want to talk about a close race. I mean, it's nip and tuck between those two.
The fact that Jeanty and Boise State, they're up 21-0. If they win that game, by all accounts, they're going to get a first-round bye and be a top 4 seed in the college football playoff. Does that move the needle at all?
I think if that happens, then you definitely have to consider it for sure.
On the money there, that's Noah Myers with a catch. There's a flag down, and Myers all the way down inside the 20. But the flag is back at midfield. There's a possibility this was a pick play.
Yeah, it's going to be offensive pass interference on Michael Matheson. And this ball's going to come back. That'd be 2 penalties in a row there by Matheson.
Pass interference. Offense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still second down.
Tyson Helton obviously not happy.
There's Matheson there.
Extending the arms, is that the...
Yeah, I mean, he's just blocking the defender down the field. He's got to let go and run a route.
Second penalty on this drive. Most of the penalties tonight have been on Jacksonville State, but it hasn't bothered them at all. They're up 38-16. They have 85 yards against them, but a sizable lead. Drop play, and getting tripped there was Elijah Young.
And that's kind of been the night so far for Western Kentucky. I mean, he's got open space. He's one of the most elusive runners in the Conference USA, and just trips over his offensive lineman that time. And it seems like every time Western Kentucky gets something positive going, they do something self-inflicted to push themselves back.
Third down and forever, it feels. Belkamp flushed, sidearms one, midfield it's caught, but short. of the first down. That's Messer with the catch. You're down big. I'm guessing you're going for it here on fourth down.
Yeah, you got to go for this one right here if you're Coach Tyson Helton. Keep your offense on the field. It's a fourth and manageable spot. In this situation, you're down big in this football game. You need a big-time play.
George Hart is in. Hart probably there for pass protection. He's in the backfield. Play clock is down to 10. And it's Jacksonville State who calls the timeout. Boy, Western Kentucky looked like they may not get the play on.
You know, I wanted to go back to that conversation we're having about the transition from FCS to FBS because, you know, we had an opportunity to have a conversation with Lalete Hale on defense, and we'll get back to it after the break.
We'll get back to it, baby. 38-6 Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State at home and on top. College basketball doubleheader tomorrow. Providence travels to Rhode Island. That's not a far trip, right? Arizona hosting Southern Utah right here on CBS Sports Network. Speaking of Arizona, Rich Rodriguez, one of his stops as a Wildcat, 43-35, 5 bowl games, Coach of the Year in 2014. Got beat by Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl in that 2014 season. Fourth down, going for it now. Western Kentucky. Blitz comes, Veldkamp clobbered, throw is on the money, and it's caught there by Messer. Boy, Veldkamp absolutely got hammered from behind, but his throw was on time and on the mark.
Yeah, rolls out to his right, and we call this passing concept a flood concept. We have 3 wide receivers essentially running into the same area at different levels, and Veldkamp that time able to complete a pass for a first down. Huge.
Another blitz, another throw, this one deep, back shoulder. Johnson was tangled up a bit, but it's incomplete. This is the play previous, and pretty good pop there. He's taken a lot of hits.
Yeah, but he's a tough football player, and you know, he's still standing up strong in the pocket.
You know, Amanda had that great report about his father, who's the strength and conditioning coach. And every now and then he'll come over and give him a fist bump on a good play. Tonight, his son has been getting knocked around. A pass rush by Jacksonville State is a good one. Matheson, the catch to the 25-yard line.
And really the perfect call against a blitz package that time by Western Kentucky. The timing just not there. The wide receiver not being able to get inside of the offensive lineman that time.
65 catches on the season, and 8 last week, and none tonight.
They haven't been able to get Keyshawn Johnson involved, and their offense has just haven't been able to get going.
Johnson leaping, catching, and touchdown. Flag is down. Back at the 25-yard line on Johnson's side.
So defense jumps off sides, and they get another free play.
Offside. Defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
And this time, West Kentucky able to capitalize. And right on cue, Rich, you were just talking about how Keyshawn Johnson, their best wide receiver, hadn't really gotten involved at all in this game. No catches after having 8 last week against Jacksonville State. And that 50-50 opportunity, he gets up and goes and get it for a touchdown.
Turbo, all credit for that goes to the women and men in our production truck. They're the ones that came up with that graphic. They're the ones that whispered in my ear, hey, Keyshawn Johnson hasn't caught a pass yet. Going for 2.
That flood concept again, back in the end zone.
He's a big quarterback, flips it, flag is down. This is back at the 5-yard line midfield.
Oh man, he had Hutchinson in the back of the end zone early.
Hold it. Offense number 53. That penalty is declined. The result of the try is unsuccessful.
Well, the Hilltoppers finally find the end zone. 6 of 7 on that drive for Caden Veldkamp.
There's the touchdown pass, getting up and going to get it there.
Alabama State transfer, Keyshawn Johnson.
And those are the plays, and there's Hutchinson open in the back of the end zone. I thought he could have thrown it earlier. He tries to get it to him late. Didn't see him initially, and Jacksonville State able to get the stop on the 2-point try.
Down 26 is Western Kentucky. There's a bunch of time left, but I don't know that they're going to get enough possessions the way Jacksonville State is moving the football. Riley Stevens to kick it off. Michael Petway is deep. Fair catch called and made. We haven't talked enough about Cam Vaughn because when they've needed a big play, he's delivered.
Well, he's a redshirt freshman, young football player, and when we talked to Coach Rich Rod about him, he said he's our most explosive receiver on the team, and he's displayed that explosiveness tonight with some huge catches and getting in the end zone and making some big-time plays tonight for Jacksonville State in this championship game.
6 targets, 4 catches, 91 yards. Andrew Paul getting some run at running back right now. Remember, we saw Trey Stewart come off the field earlier in the night, though Stewart was at a big night on the ground. He's run for 108. Tyler Huff has gone for 151 on the ground and thrown for 176.
It's important for Jacksonville State to keep their foot on the gas here. West Kentucky, very explosive offensively.
Huff pulls it. And he's going to gain maybe 3 yards to the 30-yard line.
Injured player down for Western Kentucky. How about Huff lowering his shoulder into a defensive lineman?
That's an everyday occurrence. That's him. Sebastian Benjamin is down.
Here's the play.
He has 4 tackles on the night. Looked like they may have run into the knee on his way down.
Initially, Boom connects with his own teammate there. That's Chandler Matthews, and then hits the knee on the way down. You can see him telling his coach, he said, man, he tapped his helmet, says, man, I got hit in the head. Nice to see him walk off the field, though, in his own power.
Stewart back in. And Stewart with the ball. Nice seal by the offensive line, and he gets outside and has another really nice run. That's 10 more yards. Terrence Ellis made the stop.
One of the things Tyson Summers, defensive coordinator for Western Kentucky, talked about was being able to set the edge, and Trey Stewart that time able to get around the corner to the outside and convert for first down. That was a huge third down opportunity for Western Kentucky to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense.
Stewart across the 45. Over 450 yards of total offense for Jacksonville State in 3 quarters of the Conference USA championship game.
And it looks like that play is going to be the last play of the quarter. As Huff is walking towards the sideline, he's talking to his wideouts. And what a game it's been so far for Jacksonville State.
And the final seconds of the third quarter evaporate here in Jacksonville, Alabama, where Jacksonville State is in control of the Conference USA championship game. Santa still going strong, as is Jax State. Amanda Guerra down below with Rich Rodriguez moments ago.
Coach, just 15 minutes away from a conference title. What do you want to see here from your team in the fourth quarter?
Well, we just got to keep playing. We can't look at the scoreboard. Don't worry about the time. Got to take care of the football, execute a little better. Defensively, we've been discombobulated. That's a long word. But the last couple of series, we got to get things straightened out on that side of the ball as well.
Coach, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Nice work, Amanda. Band is staying warm by jumping around. I'll tell you what, the band was terrific at halftime. They have a great band here at Jacksonville State. There's the trophy, Conference USA, 15 minutes till it. And the Gamecocks just keep churning up yards, more yards for Trey Stewart as he's out to the 42-yard line. It's 12 more yards.
Oh, man.
And that's his former teammate, Chandler Matthews. They both came from Limestone University. Matthews for Western Kentucky, and Stewart, the running back, for Jacksonville State. And they were both terrific players. They both entered the transfer portal. They wanted to play FBS. And here they are meeting for the second time in 6 days.
Yeah, in a championship game. He's been an excellent addition to Western Kentucky this season as well.
We told you about Limestone College, Division II, Matthews and Stewart. Teammates then, opponents tonight.
I wonder if they got any wagers on the game tonight.
They would be friendly ones if they did.
Push-ups.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, dinner. Who's got dinner?
Exactly. So, look, we've seen the entire game that Jacksonville State runs tempo. They snap it as fast as they can. They run the football. Now it looks like with the fourth quarter here and a sizable lead, a little more attention's being paid to the play clock.
Absolutely. Big lead. Run game is going great. They're going to use the clock to their advantage.
Huff plows inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Okay, 6 days ago they met, and Western Kentucky had to win that game to get to the championship game. And look what they did. They outgained them 426 to 328. 6 days later, flipped the script. Jacksonville State 468 in 3 quarters and just 197 for Western Kentucky tonight.
And we just haven't seen the explosive passing game from Western Kentucky that we're used to seeing. And you got to give credit to Jacksonville State, A, bringing pressure on the quarterback, but B, their secondary being able to lock up on the outside.
Second down and 6. And Huff. You know, it's like oftentimes in this case, you hand it to a running back, a rugged one. He's their rugged running back.
Yeah.
He's the guy that gets the hard yards.
Yeah, he's the starter and the closer for this team in the run game, man. You know, it's interesting. You got this big lead. You're using the clock to your advantage, and they're already in what we call a 4-minute offense where you just want to run the ball down the field to run the clock out. And in this situation, they're just using as much clock as possible as they navigate their way down the field.
That should be enough for the first down.
Yeah, that second effort, Rich. Initially, it looked like he was going to go down, and then use that hand, got it on the ground, and we get a second ever for the first.
Remember, he was hurt last week in the third quarter. 3 of 11. He did run for 97 yards before he went out. Questionable this week. Got the green light yesterday and hasn't looked at all like he's suffering from anything tonight, except maybe some exhaustion for all the long runs and the yards he's put up. 163 yards. And why not keep it?
And when we talked to Coach Rich Rodriguez about his health and whether or not he was going to play this week, you know, one of the things he said was, look, as long as he looks like himself at practice, he's going to play. And that's really the indicator of our decision. If he looks, you know, anything like he's hobbled at all, we're going to keep him out. And he's looked fresh from the first play of the game.
Look, he looks like a guy that seeks out contact and kind of relishes that. I'll bet he doesn't get a lot of that in practice, right?
He's got the red jersey on, no contact.
He probably sneaks in a few, though. With second down here. Trey Stewart, another touchdown. 29 yards.
That's all offensive line and great vision by Trey Stewart to be able to break that big run to get into the end zone again. Look at the crease, boom. To be able to locate that as a running back, not always easy for guys to be able to squeeze in there, and offensive line created just enough room, and there goes Trey Stewart again for his third touchdown of the game.
Well, Tyler Huff is at 166 yards rushing, and guess what? Trey Stewart, 23 carries, 166 himself, and 3 touchdowns. Conference USA championship game and championship performances from the Gamecocks. Trey Stewart, most rush yards in a single season in Jacksonville State history. Troymaine Pope back in 2015, but Stewart now at 1,569. He's gone for 166 on the ground. So has his quarterback tonight, and it's been a dominant performance by Rich Rodriguez.
You saw Troymaine Pope there at the top of that list, a former teammate of mine in the NFL, very good player.
That's a little pop-up of a kick. And Western Kentucky now with the football. Defensively, and the Geico play of the game. And that was a big hit by Travis Franklin Jr. that pried the ball loose in one of the many big plays by this defense.
They've been all over the field tonight, making plays left and right. Complete dominance by this defense.
Screen, that's Messer. And Messer is out to the 35-yard line. Easton Messer with the catch. We talked about Western Kentucky and their success in this game. They had won a couple of Conference USA championships. Their last trip was with Bailey Zappi in 2021. They lost that game against a very good UTSA team in San Antonio.
See Jacksonville State making some changes at the line of scrimmage.
And that's Elijah Young. No gain on the play, maybe loss of half a yard.
Yeah, Jacksonville State was initially going to bring blitz on that particular play and recognized something within the West Kentucky offense, and they changed into a zone coverage and able to stop the offense short there. Third down's not been friendly for both teams offensively. Defense looking to get another stop here.
Here comes a blitz. Velkamp's throw, and it's incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Noah Myers. Good coverage there. Franklin again. And Western Kentucky going to punt this football. So Jacksonville State, 45-12 lead. Belkamp going without sleeves, and as Amanda reported, without hand warmers on a bitterly cold night here in Alabama. Jacksonville, Alabama. That one was almost blocked. Flip Rudolph is deep, fair catch, and he makes it, and we'll step aside. 9:41 left in this championship game, and hold everything. That usually means a flag when the music dips back down. And the flag's sitting almost at midfield. Been a busy night.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team, number 55. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. Timeout.
Now, cue the music. Back after this.
What's your beef? By the Home Depot. How doers get more done. And by Ram Trucks. Built to serve.
Conference USA Championship game, 45-12. Jacksonville State in just their second year in Conference USA. Last 8 champs, we told you about Western Kentucky in 15 and 16 back in 2021, but it was UTSA that won that one. And last year, of course, Liberty outlasted New Mexico State. Stewart, more yards, stays inbound, clock rolls. Brent Stover, how's Army doing?
Rich, pretty dang good in the American Conference title game. 4th rushing touchdown of the night for quarterback Bryson Daly. Army leads Tulane 28-7 in the 3rd. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Brent. That's impressive. I mean, Army, and great to see that they hosted the game. Having been able to do a game there this year, that's terrific stuff. Now they have to get ready for Navy.
I haven't done a game at Army, but I hear it's an incredible atmosphere.
It is. I can confirm that. Trey Stewart again. The Gamecocks are probably going to put up numbers, record-setting numbers in terms of rushing, championship game type records. They've run for 300 and over 340 yards. And it was a quick ascension from FCS to FBS to conference champions. Their first year this year to be eligible to play in the championship game. He won't have to make up a trophy like he did two years ago, right?
Not this time.
Now, before Jacksonville State arrived here, they were successful in football. Going back into the 60s, they won 5 titles then. Mid-South won. The Gulf South, who can forget that? 9 there. Ohio Valley, in the Valley they won 9. And the Atlantic Sun in 2022. Rich Rodriguez, who told our entire crew, you better bundle up, because this is going to be the coldest game ever in Jacksonville, Alabama. And he was right. Stewart trying to get outside, and he does. This guy can really play. All the way down to the 26. We check in with Amanda. You staying warm down there?
I am. So here's the thing I found out about Rich Rodriguez. Every year he has an annual cigar game. He doesn't tell his team when it's going to happen, where after the game they get to enjoy cigars. So for this season, it was when they made it to the conference championship. They beat Sam Houston. So they all got on the field after the game. They had cigars. But because he only does it once a year, they don't have cigars after this game. So I vote our cigar guy, Robert Turbin, provides them either for the team or us. And also, by the way, happy birthday, Robert Turbin.
That's
when did
right.
I get that title?
That's right. Not his, now, birthday was earlier this week, right?
Monday.
Monday. Okay. So did you bring a cigar?
I did not bring a cigar. I'm trying to figure out when I became
the cigar guy.
When did I got that title?
I've seen Robert enjoy a cigar, and I just think, you know, if they don't have cigars or if our crew doesn't, our crew's done an amazing job this season.
Yeah.
So Robert Turbin, you know, Super Bowl winner and running back and cigar guy.
I'm all for you. I'm all for
Amazing.
that. Anything that's warm, I'm all for it. Whether it's a cigar, a Yule log, a heater that works.
A heater that works would be nice, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, Amanda needs to do an injury report on the heater that was supposed to work tonight. Gamecocks just keep on keeping on. Andrew Paul, the run. Flags come flying down as Paul is hauled out. It's a possible face mask.
I wonder if this is a face mask. I couldn't see if it was on Paul.
That's rarely called. You know that as a running back.
Yeah.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
No,
Number
clearly.
41.
That's clearly
The
defense.
penalty is half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
Yeah, that's clearly defense. Did you ever get called as a running back for face mask?
I did one time. I actually did one time.
NFL or in college?
It was actually in the pros.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in the pros.
Was it Gene
shocked.
Steratore that threw the flag?
I don't think so.
That would be ironic after our discussion in the first half.
Right.
Jacksonville State. This is Paul trying to slither his way through on that first down carry. And the tempo running attack of Jacksonville State, fueled by Trey Stewart and quarterback Tyler Huff. And these guys have just been dominant and dynamite. And 201 yards for Stewart on 27 carries. Huff with 167 yards.
There's just been no stopping this rushing attack from Jacksonville State. And the fact that they get right back to the line of scrimmage and run the football again, it just tires out a defense.
And that was the routine in the first three quarters. Here in the fourth, they've done a better job of waiting. You see the play clock melt down. They snap it with one. They understand where they are, and Andrew Paul is ripped down by Marcus Patterson.
Trey Stewart there, saw that graphic just a minute ago. Didn't have 100 yards the last 2 games and had 100 yards in the last 6 games per game, and so he's gotten back in his groove. And this offense, they've run the ball over 50 times tonight, Rich, and only had 15 passes. And they had a similar outing earlier in the season when they played against Sam Houston. They ran the ball 58 out of 70 plays in that dominant victory.
Paul on third down. And it'll be fourth down and goal. Ford made the stop. We're under 4 minutes left before the celebration begins. And there will be a ceremony afterwards. And that trophy that he's going to hoist is not one that they had made up down the street at the Jacksonville, Alabama trophy stop.
No, this will be the real thing. And Smothers is coming in now for Tyler Huff. And he's getting a nice ovation from the crowd.
Logan Smothers on fourth and goal. Go get him.
So this is going to be a fake to the running back. Actually, he's going to take this ball and run it himself. Yep.
And it is Smothers. Touchdown.
You can tell by the formation, Rich. Running back his alignment was a little bit wider than normal to the quarterback, which was an indicator that this was going to be a set-up quarterback run. And how about the senior, Logan Smothers, getting into the championship game? He's been so impactful for this football team in his spot as a backup. They love him, and it's great to see him get in the end zone.
Yeah, and it's great to see the reception he got on the sideline, and that echoes what you just said. They love him here. What's not to love about Jacksonville State tonight? Logan Smothers gets in. Fourth and goal for the 9. No problem. Tyler Huff says, way to go. Back up. 52-12. Championship game Conference USA. End of the regular season is here inside college football. Recaps all the nail-biting action coming up right here on CBS Sports Network. Now, long ago when he was warm, Robert Turbin wrote down his keys to the game. So we revisit to see how you did. First we go, conference championship game. Army, we heard Brent Stover talking about him. Boise State's up 21-0, though UNLV is starting to move the football. And certainly a lot of championship games coming up tomorrow, including Oregon and Penn State, prime time in the East on CBS. Some directional kicking going on here. Here we revisit the keys to the game.
Yeah, Western Kentucky haven't even been able to get into the red zone barely tonight. They haven't done a good job offensively on defense. Have they won on first down? 25 first downs allowed. They haven't done a good job on defense. Jacksonville State doing a great job with their running efficiency, almost 7 yards per carry on defense. Win a turnover battle. They've taken the football away twice.
Elijah Young has been the best thing going for Western Kentucky tonight. He's approaching 100 yards. He's over 90 now on his 16th carry.
Yeah, you know, quite frankly, I thought he'd be more involved in this offense, particularly in the passing game. We know what he can do on the ground, but he's so dynamic. He's so special as a player. I thought some screen passes, some things of that nature, getting him outside would be more a part of this game plan tonight.
Tip of the cap to Luke Olson, the first-year defensive coordinator for Jacksonville State. He's had a terrific night. You started a conversation earlier in the night about, well, look, now I'm going to wait until the 2-minute timeout before I step in it, right?
This is our third attempt to get to this conversation.
I know. That's okay, buddy. We'll get there. 52-12. That's a look at Luke Olson. Here is the 2-minute timeout, kids. 52-12. Jacksonville State. Lots of love for them tonight, and deserved. The score with 2 minutes left. Player of the game brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky, and it's QB1 Tyler Huff.
I mean, who else, Rich? He's done it all tonight for Jacksonville State, running it, throwing it. I mean, from the start of this game, he really set the tone and has led this team to what will eventually be a conference championship for them tonight.
And the MVP here tonight of this Conference USA championship. And Elijah Young, with that run, is over 100 yards. All right, it's unique. You go from FCS to FBS, the transition that this school, Jacksonville State, has made, and here they win a championship just their second year.
Yeah, we got a chance to talk to a couple of the players about it. Michael Petway on offense, the wide receiver, number 2, he said, you know, the biggest difference was he did feel like FBS play was a little bit faster than FCS. And then on the defensive side, we talked to Lalete Hale. He said, look, the margin of error in FBS compared to FCS is much smaller. You got to be on top of the details at this level, and it was just good to get some insights from the actual players. I get asked all the time, hey, what's the difference between going from college to the NFL? You know, and it's very similar. NFL game's a little bit faster, and the margin of error is definitely much smaller. So it was cool to get those insights from those guys.
And you get paid better.
I don't know anymore.
That's a good point. That's a good point. This might be the last play of the game here. And that's George Hart III. Chance to thank some folks for a terrific season. Senior Vice President of Remote Technical Operations of CBS Sports is Jason Cohen. Director of Remote Operations, Jenna McKeon. Senior Director, Remote Operations, Jeff Korotkin. Rich Rod getting the The shower.
Yeah.
Tonight's game produced by Scott Brandwine, directed by Matt Plundo. More.
And the water.
I'm telling you what, it's cold. I'm surprised that stuff is still liquid there. Tech manager Gary Weiss, Jeremy Ward, Jason Lynch, Ken Pruitt also in the truck. Everybody. Scott Jones, our spotter. Angie Littlejohn, our statistician. A champion for Conference USA. Tyler Huff. And Jacksonville State, Rich Rodriguez and the Gamecocks are champions in just their second year in the conference. Their second year at FBS. And here they are, conference champs. There's the two teammates from Limestone College.
Yeah.
And they met here as opponents. All right, here's how to execute the Gatorade bath or Powerade. Select your sports electrolyte beverage of choice.
He's got to be freezing right now.
Oh, he is freezing. We're all freezing. This is the coldest game ever played in this stadium, we were told at the outset, and they weren't kidding.
Well, congratulations to Rich Rodriguez. I mean, you got to give credit to the work that he put into this program. And
yeah, there they are, the Limestone kids.
Yeah, there they are. That's cool. That's great stuff.
It is. For Robert Turbin, Amanda Guerra, our entire crew, I'm Rich Waltz. This is a presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We'll send it to New York, but we'll be back for the trophy ceremony, so don't go anywhere, here in Jacksonville, Alabama. Congratulations, Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks, the 2024 Conference USA champs.